Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news, Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today, 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly, or start shopping online at yourhometownschevy.com.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning-fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber. Simply brilliant.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery, tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm James.
We want to thank you for continuing to make the Root Sports and Fitness Center your headquarters for youth sports in Southern Ohio.
We are back here in Lucasville, Valley High School, our site for the second night in a row. This time, the Valley Indians now 8-2, coming off a big league win last night over South Webster, play host to the 11-1 Chesapeake Panthers out of the Ohio Valley Conference. A highly anticipated non-league matchup for us here tonight on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. Welcome into Lucasville tonight. Carson Francis, Shane Combs back with you. Shane, back where we were last night, this time Valley facing a very deadly, dangerous Chesapeake Panthers team, one that is known across Southeast Ohio as arguably a regional title contender in Division 5. What can you tell us about this matchup we're getting ready to see?
No, I think it should be a lot of fun. It should be fast-paced. You know, both these teams aren't afraid to get up and down the court. They usually put a lot of points on the board. And, man, you know, we watched how good Valley can be when they get it going in the third quarter last night against a good South Webster team. And when you turn the film on and watch this Chesapeake, boy, did they pass the eye test.
Chesapeake, we'll start with them coming off an 81-57 win over Portsmouth in league play. That game was dominated by two guys that you would kind of expect to take over for Chesapeake, but when I read the stat line for them this game, I was blown away. Maddox Kazee and Caden Perkins combined for 54 points in that win over the Trojans Thursday night. The dynamic duo for the Panthers was unstoppable Thursday night.
Yeah, they're really special. And the thing of it is Chesapeake team checks every box, you know. Great guard play, great versatility, played a lot of positionless basketball, especially on the defensive end. They have great post presence. They have pretty good depth at those positions off the bench when they have to go there. So, yeah, it's an outstanding basketball team, and we know that this Valley team's full of athletes as well. So I think that should equal a lot of entertainment here in terms of a game that should have some tempo.
Looking at Chesapeake from top to bottom, obviously Kazee, Perkins, the two guys that stand out the most, but also rounding out their starting five, Philip Thacker, Carson Freckett, John Cooper Barker. He's been facilitating the offense a lot this year. Those three that round out the starting five for Chesapeake night in, night out, they're just as capable as the two that we mentioned of going out there and giving you double figures and swaying a game in favor of the Panthers.
Well, that's what impresses you about Chesapeake. You're exactly right. On any given night, it can be a different person, and they seem okay with it. You know, when you watch them, they share the basketball. You can tell they like one another. They're connected on the defensive end. And that unselfishness kind of makes them really, really tough to guard, because very few teams are going to have the five types of athletes needed to guard them for 32 minutes.
Now taking a look at Valley, again coming off a 48-33 win over the South Webster Jeeps. That was a game when we watched it last night. We thought that Valley kind of looked a little slow in the first half. They looked like they were just having trouble getting anything going offensively because South Webster was doing such a great job slowing the game down. They were dictating the tempo of that game. And then Valley comes out in the second half, and they just said, okay, South Webster, it's our turn. We got control of this game now. And they started out fast. They were getting steals left and right. Jackson Bender was all over the floor, getting steals, winning extra possessions, finished the night with 12 points, and led the Indians in scoring.
Yeah, that third quarter effort was special, a 20-5 quarter for the Indians. And you're right, in the first half, a lot of that had to do with South Webster's ability to control tempo. The Jeeps had the game in the quarter court. They were having 30, 40, sometimes 50-second possessions versus both zone and man, and they were just doing a great job. So what did Valley do? They went to the locker room. When they ended up coming out, they basically just said, okay, we're going to go trap the basketball everywhere, full court, half court, and they started to poke the ball free. They caused 3 or 4 really early third quarter turnovers, and once the game got going up and down, you could tell that Valley was far more in their comfort zone at that point.
And the defense in the second half as well, holding South Webster to just 12 throughout the second half. Christian Copen, a guy I go to right away, had 7 rebounds on the night, blocked a couple of shots. Just his defensive presence as a senior leader, a veteran for this Indian squad, went a long way.
Well, I love how you said that right there, because you never even really mentioned scoring, right? Remember, you and I talked about that in the pregame last night. Yeah, obviously, he can score it a little bit at double figures, but he checks so many stat sheet columns that stat sheet stuffer, as we like to say, he really can impact it. And that's another thing with Valley tonight. They're going to need 4 and 5 guys to go to the defensive glass, because this will be one of the biggest challenges of the year in terms of keeping the athleticism of Chesapeake off that glass.
These two met last season down at the Pearson Court in Chesapeake, a 66-63 win for Valley. They handed Chesapeake their first loss of last season. I think there's a little bit of a mental game when you look at the coaching battle here, because Stephen Ader, as John talked about in our preview that we put out earlier today, Stephen Ader, the head coach of the Panthers, has coached his fair share of games here at Valley, spent a handful of years coaching at South Webster, spent a long time at Wheelersburg. He's played the Indians quite often. Craig Tackett, this is only his 4th time coaching against Coach Ader in a regular season meeting. What do you is there a mental side of this game when you look at coaching?
You know, I don't know much about the mental side. I think what happens is it's the chess match that happens in all coaching matchups. What makes this matchup unique, Carson, is both teams like to fly up and down the court. But what you have to ask yourself is, when you come into this matchup, is can we do that against this opponent? You know what I'm saying? Like 90% of the time, these guys go out and feel like, okay, up-tempo is probably going to favor us. Now all of a sudden, you play a team that's kind of like-minded, and you better make sure you're capable of it. So it'll be interesting to me tonight in the tempo to see, right from the get-go, are both teams wanting to go, or is one team maybe wanting to find a little happy medium in terms of keeping that? You said last year the score in that 60s. That makes sense to me for probably a Valley tonight, because I've watched Chesapeake probably score over 70 times in over half its games.
Chesapeake, as you mentioned, scored north of 60 in 6 of their last 7 contests. We'll see how each team looks to control the tempo and come out on top tonight. Valley hosting Chesapeake in a non-league battle here on this Saturday night. We'll be right back for the national anthem and the introduction of our student athletes. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
National Anthem wrapping up, and now we will take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for the Chesapeake Panthers, coached by Stephen Ader, who's been the head coach there since 2022. John Cooper Barker, Caden Perkins, Maddox Kazee, Philip Thacker, and Carson Frecka, the usual starting 5 for the Panthers. 11-1, tied for first in the Ohio Valley Conference. Now the lights go out once again here at Valley. A nice touch always for this home crowd as the starting 5 for the home Indians set to be introduced in front of their home crowd. The student section is here in full force as always. Jalen Dunham, Jackson Bender, Christian Copen, Blake Lundy, and Braxton Conaway. Same starting 5 as last night for the Indians.
Yeah, it's a real interesting dynamic here tonight. You know, a lot of leagues have gone away from playing the Friday, Saturday. Obviously, you can still do it like this here in terms of what Valley's doing. The league game last night, the non-league tonight. Over in the OVC, they play on the Monday, Thursday here in this early part of the year. So Chesapeake comes in with a night off, where Valley on the back-to-back, and you kind of look still a really, really good atmosphere. But if you compare it to last night's crowd, you know, no band tonight, student section maybe not as big. They had the big dance stuff last night, and the court coming out and so forth. So the big challenge for Valley is to find that energy they had last night and bring it on the back-to-back.
Christian Copen and Maddox Kazee stand in the jump ball circle. The Hype Tribe, small but mighty tonight. We're underway from Lucasville as Chesapeake takes over for the night's first possession. Caden Perkins bringing it up the floor for the Panthers.
Valley going to match up here in the opening possession.
Perkins tried to throw it to Kazee, almost threw it away. Good hustle by Kazee to win it back. Kazee stops at the elbow, fires into Thacker. It's through his hands. They're going to say out of bounds on Valley.
Yeah, nice floor spacing. Got the clear out there, tried to get the back door. Nice deflection. Going to get the OB under.
Kazee to inbound. It'll be a box set for the Panthers. Throws one up to John Cooper Barker. Now Thacker near side wing. Chesapeake winners of 7 straight as Kazee launches from downtown. Can't hit it. Cooper Barker with the rebound. And the Panthers get an extra possession.
Yeah, the 2-3 zone out of that out of bounds. They stayed in it, and then they had trouble rebounding out of it.
John Cooper Barker tried to go inside. Down low for Kazee. It's out of bounds. Another deflection by the Indians.
So Valley had matched up, as I said, in the first possession, but when the opponent goes to the OB under, they use the 2-3 zone.
Kazee to get it in. Again, he finds Thacker. Back to Kazee underneath. Kazee, the turnaround, he knocks it in. First points of the night go to Maddox Kazee. Panthers in front.
Yeah, really big, really strong. Gets that deep. That's pretty easy.
Jalen Dunham with it now for the Indians. A nice night for Dunham. last night in the win over South Webster. Here's Copen underneath trying to back down Thacker. Copen turns around, blocked by Thacker. Nice defense from the senior.
Yeah, that's what will really impress you about Chesapeake is their ability individually to guard without sending help, and you see it there. They're really versatile on the defensive end.
Perkins driving, nice find to Thacker on the baseline. Now Frecka with it. Frecka out to Barker. Barker jump stops, kicks it out to Perkins. He launches from downtown off the mark. And it's Bender chasing down the rebound. Blake Lundy crosses over, loses dribble, gets it out to Conaway. Corner three, that's no good. And off the top of the backboard, out of bounds.
Yeah, pretty good look there in the corner. Watched him knock one down in the first half for him last night.
Last night, South Webster was starting out in zone defensively, which caused Valley to have to slow things down and work against this zone. It seems like the Indians playing with a little more pace in the early stages of this one.
Well, and it's certainly the difference in opponent. As we said in the pregame, both these teams don't mind getting it up and down. I expect far more pace this evening.
Here's Thacker down low, working on Conaway. He banks it off the glass. First points of the night for Philip Thacker.
Yeah, Cassie and Thacker together just make it so difficult to match up with their size and their versatility.
Dunham driving, swings it over to Conaway, opposite side block, now out to Copen, top of the key. Dunham again driving. Dunham underhand off the glass for two. Nice drive and finish from Jalen Dunham.
Yeah, averages about 13 a game.
Kazee on the other end answers right back. Kazee showing off the ability to get downhill quickly and do some damage. Conaway hands it off to Christian Copen, who backs it out.
Yeah, you can already kind of feel the tempo a little bit. Team's getting it up and down.
Copen picks up his dribble. Lundy, the elbow jumper, in and out. And Kazee hauls it in. Kazee up the floor to Thacker. Thacker dishes it inside. Frecka. Frecka through contact and the foul. Carson Frecka.
Carson, that's what I like about the tempo Chesapeake plays with. It's not always considered what you would definition-wise call the fast break. It's more of the secondary break, but they'll, on a miss or make, they'll go ahead and get it in the end. They run the floor well. Frecka with a good rim run there and trust his teammates to get him a look, and he's able to convert the three-point play.
Frecka knocks down the free throw, and Coach Tackett will burn a timeout for Valley. It'll be a 30. We'll keep it here. Panthers out to a 9-2 run to start. You know what I liked about that last possession in transition is the Panthers were not afraid to make that extra pass. Frecka was open, had a high efficiency look in the post. They were able to get it to him, and he goes to work right away.
Well, and you can see a little bit of what I was concerned about in the goal, right from the tip. You know, a little bit flat tonight in terms of Valley and Chesapeake coming on the road here, ready to go out to the 9-2. I like the early timeout just to see if you can't settle your guys into the game. This becomes a really big possession early in the game. And Valley was pretty good in its quick hitter package last night. Let's see what Coach has in mind coming out of the huddle here.
Valley winners of back-to-back games beat Waverly last Friday before a win over South Webster last night. Looking to make it back-to-back wins against the Chesapeake Panthers. A 66-63 final in Chesapeake last season. There's Copen off the pick and roll, finds Lundy underneath. Lundy can't finish. And Thacker scoops it up for Chesapeake.
Yeah, great execution, did everything but make the shot.
Thacker outside, Perkins for three, rolls out. Frecka the offensive rebound. Frecka goes back up, the up and under, can't finish. Lundy hustles up the floor for the Indians. Lundy, the pull-up, got blocked from behind. Now Bender, he'll try from outside. That's no good. Copen, the offensive rebound and the putback.
Yeah, big-time play for Copen right when his team needed it. Needed a bucket to stop the bleeding here. Get back within 9-4.
Christian Copen, 9 points, 7 rebounds a night ago. The only senior for this Valley Indians squad. Carson Frecka, short corner, out to Thacker. Thacker now, Kazee, he'll try a long three. That's off the mark. Off the front of the rim, Conaway tipped it right back to Barker, who gets it knocked away from behind. It'll stay with Chesapeake.
Yeah, I thought he was maybe knocking it to a teammate there. You got to go grab that 50-50 ball. They were very fortunate to not give Chesapeake some advantage there. They at least can get set here and guard the OB under.
Kazita inbound right over to Thacker. Thacker can't finish off the back of the rim. Loose ball, won back by Thacker. Chesapeake gets another extra possession.
Yeah, early on, winning all the 50-50 balls.
Freka underneath, got fouled. They'll tag Copen on the floor.
Yeah, Valley felt like there was a little bit of a wrap there. They go with the common foul on the body.
Be the first foul on Copen, second of the first quarter for the Indians. Let's have a little cleanup there on the baseline, putting our official Chad Jenkins to work. Kazita inbound. Throws one up to Perkins.
Valley spending a lot of time into 2-3, especially on these OB unders.
Thacker knocks down the triple from the top of the key. It's 12-4 lead for Chesapeake. First triple for Philip Thacker. Copen with it on the other end. Over to Dunham. Dunham, he'll launch one from downtown. That's no good. And Freka grabbing it for Chesapeake. Barker up the floor. Thacker pump fakes. Driving baseline inside. Freka down the lane and the finish. Carson Freka, too strong inside.
Yeah, textbook break there again with the great spacing and the rim run.
Lundy to the basket. Can't finish, but he will go to the line for two. You know, obviously, there's a size advantage for Carson Freka and for the Panthers. It's all the more important that he's been using it to their advantage, and so far, Carson Freka has made his presence known inside.
Well, and on the defensive glass, when they're able to rebound one and done, you'll see the athleticism leak out, and boy, do they get end-to-end in a hurry.
Lundy knocks down the first free throw. Dennis Scarberry will get his first action of the night as John Cooper Barker will get a breather.
Yeah, when you're playing against these two teams, you don't have time to worry about a mistake or pout on a missed shot or whatever. You better get end-to-end in about 3.5, 4 seconds or you're going to give up a layup.
Lundy 2 for 2 at the line, but not before a lane violation called against the Indians.
Well, calls the mistake, takes a point off the board. Valley will get into the pressure out of it.
Perkins gets it up to Freka in the half court. Freka back out to Thacker. Now Perkins wanted to take the three. He'll give it to Kazee instead, who connects from the corner. Maddox Kazee, you can't leave him open like that. He makes them pay.
Yeah, out of the full court pressure, they're losing shooters, and so far the Peak's been able to make them pay.
Dunham, baseline drive. He pulls up, can't hit the jumper. Thacker the rebound. Thacker up the far sideline, gets past Bender. Thacker jump stops, picks up his dribble. Nice find to Scarberry, who backs it out. Kazee again from outside. That's no good. Rebound taken by Lundy. There's Copen, baseline drive. Gets it out to Bender. Bender launches from downtown and knocks it down. Jackson Bender lets it fly from outside.
Yeah, we've watched it. Valley will keep coming on back and firing away. Just got to be able to get a stop here. Already given up 17 points in the first 6 minutes.
Good job by Kazee to get it into the half court, breaking the press. As Perkins stands near the midcourt logo, over to Thacker. Valley staying in their zone defense. As Perkins fires from downtown and buries it. Caden Perkins with confidence.
Yeah, that's why it's so hard if they knock the ball out of bounds there on the sideline break. Of course, that's why it's so hard to zone them, is because of how far off the line they can shoot it. So they spread you out with 3 or 4 shooters. You start to spread out. Now athletically, it's hard to contain their dribble, and they're constantly getting in the middle and opening up situations for Freka to get power moves or some offensive rebounds.
John Cooper Barker back on the floor for Chesapeake. Philip Thacker will get a breather. Here's Bender. In the corner, gets it over to Conaway. Conaway, the elbow jumper, gets the roll. Braxton Conaway finds the bottom of the net for Valley.
Yeah, all 5 Valley starters into the scoring column now, but they've been doubled up 20-10 nonetheless.
Perkins has it on the far side. Thought about taking another deep three. Would have liked his chances there. Now Perkins with it in the corner, guarded by Copen. He'll bring it out. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Chesapeake been very efficient from the field.
Against the zone, they'd have the option to probably run it all the way down. Let's see what they choose to do.
John Cooper Barker stands on the near side. Panthers taking their time.
Yeah, Valley going to try to get a count now. I think they would probably like to at least get one more offensive possession here in the quarter.
Here's Kazee driving. Kazee, baseline pull-up, connects. Maddox Kazee, another 2 points added to his name. 22-10 Panthers, 20 to go here in the first.
Already 9 in the first quarter, Carson.
Showing why he's one of the top players in Southeast Ohio. There's Conaway, corner three, knocks it down. Braxton Conaway answers with a triple. 5 seconds to go. Perkins spins. Perkins puts it up. Can't finish. Rebound taken Conaway. And the first quarter buzzer sounds. Chesapeake off to a hot start offensively as they lead Valley 22-13 after one. Don't go anywhere. Second quarter from Lucasville coming your way. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Have you experienced simply brilliant fiber internet? Yeah, that's Glow Fiber. Lightning fast internet that keeps up with your busy life. A reliable fiber-to-the-home network whether you're working, learning, playing, or streaming. And best of all, Glow Fiber has real local support from real people who are happy to talk to you. And switch now for your first month free. Faster, more reliable fiber internet with real local support. Glow Fiber, simply brilliant.
1 quarter down here from Lucasville. It's the Chesapeake Panthers in front of Valley 22-13, fueled by a nice 9 points in the opening frame from Maddox Kazee.
Yeah, 9 different players in the game have scored already. 5 on the Valley side, 4 on the Peak side. As you mentioned, Kazee leads it with 9. Thacker and Freka both with 5. Over on the Valley side, Conaway with 5.
Valley with possession to start the second quarter. Looking to chip away at this early 9-point deficit. Elliot Frankie checked into the game during the quarter break. He gets his first action of the night, and he gets it over to Conaway, but not before a 5-second call. Some great on-ball defense from Caden Perkins.
Yeah, great on ball, and then the Chesapeake bench calling it out, and you start to get a lot of intensity there, a lot of pride in your on-ball defense, and they get the 5 count as a result.
Chesapeake defense takes a lot of pride in guarding the basketball. As they show it right there. Here's Thacker on the drive through traffic. He'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, just so strong downhill. The first step is so quick, and then if he gets even a half step on you and he gets his body into you, most of the time he's going to win because of the upper body strength.
Thacker 10 points in the win over Portsmouth. Buries the first one from the stripe there.
You know, Carson, it's hard enough to have one guy to guard a Kazee or Thacker. Very few teams have both, so it makes it very difficult to match up man-to-man against the Panthers.
Thacker goes 2 for 2 at the stripe. Panthers ahead by 11. Valley looking to answer. Here's Christian Copen near side. Copen working on Thacker. Copen, nice dish over to Lundy on the baseline. Lundy the spin. Lundy picks up his dribble, tried to get it out to Conaway. Conaway matched up on Kazee. Valley looking for something inside. Here's Isaiah Clark now, who checked in during the quarter break. Lundy, the pull-up. Lundy in and out. Clark, the offensive rebound. Clark, the putback, blocked by Kazee. Panthers have a 2-on-1 in transition. Perkins to the basket, can't finish. Copen the rebound. He brings it up the floor for Valley. Copen outside. Lundy for three. Yes! Blake Lundy from downtown cuts it back to 8.
You see it so many times. You miss the layup on the one end. You get the transition going back to the other side. What a great look that was. Great steal off from
Freca wide open. Too easy inside. Talked about how you can't leave Maddox Kazee open outside the perimeter. Well, you can't give Carson Freca an easy look like that inside either. Elliott Frankie now one-on-one with Perkins. Gets it out to Copen. Copen working inside. Copen puts it up and gets the bounce. Christian Copen finds the bottom of the net.
Yeah, nice little floater game. The length of Chesapeake's been bothering them. Clever little shot to get it up over the sides.
Andrew Isaacs also seeing the court for the first time tonight for Chesapeake as Thacker puts up the midi and can't knock it down, but he gets his own rebound. Thacker goes up again, can't put it in there. Another offensive rebound. Thacker 0 for 3 on this possession. And Clark comes away with it for the Indians.
Yeah, the size a little overwhelming to the Indians, but to their credit, they just kept scrapping and ended up coming away with one.
Copen drove and tried to kick it out to Conaway spotting up in the corner. It's deflected. Jackson Bender and Jalen Dunham returning to action for Valley.
Yeah, Andy Chapman into the game, and I've been real impressed on the film. I know you and John had them earlier in the year. The minutes he's able to give to allow Freca to stay fresh, I think is really becoming a big asset to Chesapeake.
Chapman played a huge role in that Fairland game John and I had when Freca got in some foul trouble early. Provided an excellent presence for the Panthers in the paint on both sides of the ball.
And Carson Valley's kind of weathered the storm here. If they can find a way to get a good look here, get this back to 2 possessions, but I think they're going to turn it over.
Bender travels, receiving the pass at the top of the key. It'll give it right back to Chesapeake. Obviously, turnovers don't do you any good, and I think there's a couple times where you look at when Valley's turned it over, this would be a much different ball game if they were able to take care of the ball.
Yeah, no question. Each game will take on a little bit of a different tempo. Tonight's game a little bit more pace, so being down 8 doesn't feel the same as maybe last night.
Isaacs feeds Chapman inside, and he gets the turnaround jump hook. First points for Andy Chapman off the bench. Elliott Frankie spins, working on Isaacs. Out to Bender for 3, airmails it. Rebound Copen, Valley gets a new possession.
I think they felt like they should have a charge, but then the coaches were letting them know you got to get up, you got to play on.
Copen out to Lundy. Lundy baseline drives back to Copen. Copen inside, got it stripped. Loose ball, a fight for it on the sideline. I think we're going to get a foul called on Chesapeake. It'll be Valley basketball. No foul, just out of bounds.
Yeah, I think it was just a poke away, and a couple Valley fans not agreeing with that. Nonetheless, they want possession.
Elliott Frankie near the logo, guarded tight by Isaacs. Now Lundy on the drive, swings it back out to Dunham. Dunham had trouble with it. Now he gets a handle on it, backs it out near the volleyball line. Dunham hands it off. Lundy backing down, gets it to Bender. Bender jump stops, got it stripped by Kazee. Lundy wins it back for the Indians. Lundy, the runner, deflected by Chapman. Valley still with it, not this time. Turnover, and up the floor, Perkins, pass a little too long. Philip Thacker just put a little too much heat on that pass up the floor.
He did, but again, when Chesapeake starts playing at the tempo, you're going to get a couple of those a night, and I think you just kind of bite your tongue and live with that if you're Coach Ader.
Craig Tackett wants a timeout. We'll take it with him. 28-18 Chesapeake. You're watching Ohio High School Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
3:53 to go in the first half. It's Chesapeake in front of Valley, 28-18. After the turnover, Valley will take over, looking to cut the deficit back to single digits.
Yeah, big possession. You and I were talking on the break there. If you're Valley, you're trying to get this back into single digits before the half. You'd love to cut this in half and get it down around 5, but if you're Chesapeake, right here's a chance to really spread this out.
Lundy pulls up just inside the arc, can't connect. Cope in the offensive rebound, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, quick shot there, but great effort on the glass. Win the extra possession.
They'll tag Chapman with the foul as Barker and Frecka will retake the floor for Chesapeake. Original starting 5 back in for the Panthers. Copen to inbound out of the box set for Valley. Copen looking, gets it into Bender, back to Copen. Copen trying to back down Thacker. Gets it out to Conaway. Now Lundy with it, Lundy driving, Lundy the underhand layup, finds the bottom of the net. Blake Lundy driving right past Frecka to the basket.
Yeah, Lundy's been really aggressive off the dribble, and sometimes that's the best way to attack the incredible length is just to play downhill and try to get it straight to the rim instead of trying to play over top of them all the time.
Because the opposite side wing over to Thacker. Thacker thought about it, he'll drive instead. Thacker, nice find inside, Barker with the finish. John Cooper, Barker finds the open spot for the easy 2. Conaway on the other end, blocked by Frecka. Carson Frecka living at the rim. Barker on the other end, swatted away by Bender. And a loose ball, Bender picks it up the floor. Copen, Indians with a 2-on-1. Dunham with the easy finish.
Yeah, back and forth we go. Great defense protecting the rim on both ends. Finally, Valley gets the 2-on-1 advantage and gets the layup.
There's Kazee, opposite side corner. Pass intended for Frecka, deflected, he gets it back. Barker underneath, Barker off 2 feet, can't finish. Copen had the rebound and lost it, and a scramble for it. It'll be a tie-up possession arrow pointing towards Chesapeake.
Yeah, both teams giving incredible effort. Carson, I just can't get over the length of Chesapeake, because you and I, we got a pretty good sense last night, the length of Valley. I'm not saying they're the tallest, but they have some length and some athleticism. In Chesapeake, their size is a little bit overwhelming.
Kazee to set the table, gets it into Thacker. Thacker pump fakes and one. Philip Thacker. The presence underneath.
Yeah, just finds the little crease right in that 2-3. Going to have a free throw now to be able to get in the double figures on the evening. Point number 10.
Thacker knocks it down. It's an 11-point lead for Chesapeake. 11 on the night for Philip Thacker, 3 shy of a season high of 14. A pass deflected by Kazee, recovered by Dunham in the backcourt. Dunham now driving. Dunham spins, puts it up, and draws the foul. As we're under 2 minutes to go in the half.
Yeah, nice aggressive move. Get to the free throw line here. Chance to cut it back to 9. As I said, after the fast start, remember it was 9-2 before both teams were able to even settle into the game. Chesapeake with a great road start. So if you're Valley, just trying to withstand this first half and get it back to, I'd say around 7 or 8 would be the goal.
Dunham knocks down his first at the free throw line. Foul is tagged on Caden Perkins. Dunham, the leading scorer for Valley, goes 2 for 2 at the line, averaging around 13 a game.
That's 6 now in the evening.
Kazee over to Thacker. Indians back to a 2-3 zone. Barker over to Perkins. Perkins driving, kicks it back out to Barker. Barker jump stops, nice find. Frecka pump fakes. Frecka with the finish. Carson Frecka again inside the paint.
Great example what I'm talking about, the way the shooters space the zone out, leaves a lot of dribble gaps.
Conaway tried to answer with a three, can't connect. And a foul on the rebound. Possession will stay with Valley.
So yeah, on that other end, what I'm talking about, the ability to knock down the three earlier, it looks like it's going to go the other way.
Tag Bender with the foul.
Yeah, it's just getting Valley. Carson, what's happening is Valley's getting a little stretched out, so then the dribble gaps open up, and then when the dribble's able to get into the middle, Frecka becomes a great option on the dump off.
Chesapeake really looking to separate here. Kazee throws it back over to Perkins. Now Barker far side. Barker driving. Barker got stripped. Loose ball won by Thacker. Thacker has some trouble with it. Thacker goes up, can't knock it down. Frecka picks it up. Frecka, offensive foul. Jalen Dunham puts his body on the line. Gives possession back to the Indians.
Yeah, tough call on Frecka, but a pretty good one. Again, all he's doing is going to the drop step, but give Dunham a lot of credit. Draws the contact and then able to sell it there and get the foul call. Saves two.
That's a high IQ play there from Jalen Dunham. You know, Carson Frecka's got a 6'6" height advantage on you. Instead of trying to contest a shot, risk fouling, just use your body, take a charge.
Yeah, no question. Great play.
Copen thought about the three. He'll drive instead, get it back out to Dunham. Dunham one-on-one with Thacker. Dunham picks up his dribble to step through. Dunham can't finish. Perkins the rebound for Chesapeake. Now 30 seconds to go. Steven Ader telling his team slow things down, wind out this first half clock.
Yeah, up 11 with the basketball. Why not? Going to dribble it all the way down, and then I'd say right around 10 seconds or so, they'll get into some sort of action and see if they can get a good look.
Barker back over to Perkins, 10 to play in the half. Perkins over to Barker, now Thacker in the corner. Thacker gets it out, Barker 2 seconds, Barker the drive, Barker the finish. At the buzzer, John Cooper Barker sends the Panthers into halftime with a 13-point lead. 37-24 through a half of basketball here in Lucasville. The Panthers on top of Valley. We'll step aside and give our thoughts on the first half when we come back. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Pregame Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our...
For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Halftime here from Lucasville. It's the Chesapeake Panthers on top of the Valley Indians, 37-24 through one half of play. Chesapeake, winners of 7 straight, looking to make it 8 in a row and improve to 12-1 with a big non-league win here. Carson Francis and Shane Combs back with you. Shane, your thoughts on that first half?
I thought it had a lot to do with the start. Right off the tip, you and I talked about a little different atmosphere in here tonight, the maturity, the focus of Chesapeake coming on the road, not playing last night, and they were just ready to go. They jump out 9-2. I thought Valley started to settle in a little bit, but Chesapeake's good enough at 0-0. You certainly don't need to spot them 7, right? So it's one of those where Chesapeake I thought was really, really complete there in the first half. I mean, listen to this balance here. You get Philip Thacker with 10, Maddox Kazee with 9, Carson Frecka with 9, and then you throw in John Cooper Barker with 4, and you get 2 from Chapman off the bench. And we talked about the importance there. Perkins also hit the deep 3. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Panthers into the scoring column. And it's really with some great balance, which just makes them so difficult to guard.
We talked about during the pregame how Chesapeake from top to bottom, they got guys that can go out and give you just about anything. And we've seen throughout that first half how well the Panthers were able to share the basketball and get everybody involved.
Yeah, I think you make a good point there. There's a lot of examples where you'll see them turning down good shots to get great shots, and I think that's where the balance comes from. I think you would agree with me because I know you've watched Chesapeake several times. They have 3-4 guys that if it was their goal to go out and get 25, they'd go out and get 25. But I think they go out and just play the game the right way. They play it together. They shoot the 3. They certainly play out in transition. And what I also like is when their post runs the floor, we call it the rim run. When they do that, they're quick to reward him. And when that happens, you're going to kind of motivate him to do that each time.
Looking at Valley now, obviously in a much more sizable hole than they were at halftime of last night's game. What do you think went well in the first half that Valley can build on going into the second half?
Well, they too shared the ball. They too had a lot of guys in the scoring column. Dunham with 6, Bender with 3, Copen with 4, Lundy with 6, Conaway with 5. So they were sharing it and they were scoring it a little bit. The difference tonight is a little bit more difficult in this sense. If you come out, you'd certainly like to pick the tempo up a little bit and try to cause some turnovers because you're minus 13 here at the half. The danger in that is you're playing into Chesapeake if you do it carelessly. So I think you got to come out, you got to pick and choose where you can run and jump a little bit, where you can trap, try to get this thing back down in the single digits. The goal is to try to get into the fourth quarter and have it down around 7 to where you can make a move. But if you come out and you try to get it all back in 2 or 3 minutes, in this particular matchup, you can look up and see Chesapeake about 20 out in front.
Jalen Dunham and Blake Lundy leading the way for the Indians with 6 apiece. Dunham's done a great job tonight. He played a great game last night as well, but Dunham being able to facilitate the offense, get guys, make opportunities for guys like Christian Copen, Blake Lundy, Braxton Conaway to get involved in the offense. It's just a matter of they need to capitalize and also take care of the basketball.
Yeah, that's a big point, too, because they've been pretty aggressive downhill. Obviously, the length of Chesapeake's made it difficult at the rim. But overall, I like the aggressiveness of Valley. If they can take care of it and they're able to get into the middle, sometimes you just got to be able to make that extra pass to get the clean look because of the size of the peak.
Chesapeake, again, out in front by 13. Another thing that we saw a lot of in that first half was just their length, their size advantage, and the play of Carson Frecka and Philip Thacker in the post, getting rebounds, altering shots, winning extra possessions, played a big part in why Chesapeake is in front by double digits.
Well, their size on the offensive glass can overwhelm you, and Valley's a team that usually does a pretty good job of rebounding collectively. They have 5 guys. They may not have the guy go get 11 or 12 rebounds in a game, but they'll usually give 5, 6, 7 guys that can go and get you anywhere from 4 to 8. And I have been impressed with their ability just to compete. Even outside, they've been able to scrap a little bit and keep balls alive. But there was a stretch there early in the game where Chesapeake was getting every 50-50 ball, and I thought that's kind of what got Valley in the original hole.
Well, we look to see if Valley can climb out of this 13-point hole in the second half. Want to promote something, again, that I talked about this last night, but this is going to be a really big thing we got coming up. Love to talk about it as much as I can, but Saturday, February 7th, is the inaugural SOSA Basketball Classic presented by the Glockner family of dealerships and Shawnee State University. That'll be, again, Saturday, February 7th at Jackson High School. We'll get to see these Valley Indians in that showcase. The all-day lineup, 6 games for $7. You can't beat it. 1 ticket gets you in the entire day, and if you can't make it up to Jackson, we'll have all 6 games streamed for you on our YouTube channel. The lineup for that day looks like this. Adena and Wellston get things going at noon, followed by Western and Southeastern at 1:30. Minford taking on Zane Trace at 3 o'clock, a district final rematch from last season. Miami Trace and Fairland at 4:30. Chillicothe and Wheelersburg at 6 o'clock, 2 of the hottest teams in the area right now, and then Valley and Jackson round things out at 7:30.
Yeah, big-time lineup. As I said last night, what I love about the event is the ability in person or online. So if you're a basketball junkie like us, and you can get there, you could sit there, as you said, at a great price and watch it all. If you can't go, you could certainly catch us live or catch us on the replay at whatever convenience. Maybe you're coming to watch your favorite team and then don't want to stay all day, but maybe go and catch them. So I really think SOSA's on to something here with this event. I think it's going to be a big-time event. Going to have a lot of great programs, a lot of great fan bases, and I think it's going to be a big success.
Be sure to mark your calendars again, Saturday, February 7th at Jackson High School for the inaugural SOSA Basketball Classic presented by the Glockner family of dealerships and Shawnee State University. Shane, back to this game. What do you look for from both teams coming out of halftime? Valley will have possession to start the half.
Well, Valley really needs to get a good look. Remember, they'd come out last night in the third quarter and they run the nice set where they throw it over the top there. But you really need to be able to get a good look and try to score on this first possession and then get into whatever it is you're wanting to go with defensively. Again, in this matchup, you don't have to try to hit the home run and get it all back right away, but you are going to try to win the first couple minutes here and get this back into single digits and just to give your team some confidence and allow yourself to settle back into the game. If you're Chesapeake on the other side of that, now's the time to deliver the knockout punch. If you're the Peak, if you can come out here and get a stop and go down and score, all of a sudden you could open up about a 15-point lead. Now you'd have Valley on the verge of putting them away.
The Indians will start the second half with possession. Our John Bruce has just notified us we're on a score watch here. Maddox Kazee with 9 points on the night. He's 5 points away from 1,000 career points.
Well, that certainly doesn't surprise anyone to watch that young man play. I mean, what a gifted player. And what's so crazy about that is we've been talking all night about how unselfish he is as well. But, yeah, he's just a treat to watch. I've been watching a lot of film on Chesapeake over the last couple of weeks in preparation here, and he's a big-time player.
Jalen Dunham across half court, second half underway from Lucasville. Christian Copen driving, working on Frecka. Copen kicks it out to Dunham. Dunham off the screen. Dunham pulls up from the elbow. Can't hit the jumper. Kazee with the rebound. Kazee, nice dish up the floor. Freckle with the finish. Excellent court vision by Maddox Kazee. Chesapeake tacks on another, and a steal. Thacker up the floor. Perkins glides to the rim and puts it in.
Yeah, right out of the locker room. Big time defense, big time open court passing, and Chesapeake threatening to blow this thing open.
Largest lead of the night for Panthers. It's a 17-point game. Conaway picks up his dribble, gets it over to Dunham. Dunham one-on-one with Perkins. Out to Conaway again. Valley 8-2 on the year. Need to get something going if they want to avoid their third, as that attempt from Lundy no good. Here comes Kazee. Kazee, top of the key. Kazee driving. Kazee off the glass, slices it off the backboard. Copen the rebound.
You know, when you're trying to attack Chesapeake, they do such a good job of being able to guard one-on-one. There's another example where they don't always have to send so much help.
Thacker strips Copen on the drive. Thacker out to Perkins. Corner three, it's good. Caden Perkins launches it from downtown and hits.
So many weapons. They can just come at you so many different ways.
Lundy baseline drive. Copen out to Dunham for three. Dunham can't answer. Scramble for it in the paint. Frecka has it, and he gets tied up. Possession arrow points to the Panthers.
Yeah, great effort there, getting everybody picked up on both teams. Had a pretty good look at it. Chesapeake just uses its defense either through a deflection or a causing of a turnover. They can even do it off of just a simple defensive rebound. They transition end to end as fast as anybody I've seen probably so far this year in our coverage area.
Have a stoppage in play to get some condensation off the floor. Our official Chad Jenkins being put to work tonight. Double duty for this crew. They were just down at Portsmouth officiating a game I got to watch a little bit of between Ironton and Portsmouth West. An excellent game to watch. A 57-46 win for the Fighting Tigers. Kazee baseline drive. Kazee off the glass. Extends the lead. It's a 9-0 run to start the half for the Panthers.
Yeah, exactly what Valley couldn't afford to do. And Chesapeake, you kind of see it in their body language. They kind of sense the moment here, the chance to really blow the opponent out.
Copen over to Lundy, not before Craig Tackett wants to burn a timeout. 5:37 to go in the third. It's 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Chesapeake, a 9-0 run to start the half. You see Maddox Kazee there now just 3 points away from 1,000 career points.
Well, you mentioned it. I mean, just a little over 2 minutes into the half, and it all starts with the defense. You had the big-time bounce pass and the length of the floor for the layup, and then you get the other easy look. And what I was mentioning earlier about their defense, Carson, is the help is there, ready to come if needed, but Chesapeake is so versatile on the defensive end. Usually they can kind of wall up, and with their size, they make you finish over the top. That they play a lot of just straight one-on-one. They don't have to help. Therefore, they do not lose shooters on the perimeter, and that's just so valuable to have that versatility.
Head coach Stephen Ader of the Panthers took over in 2022, replacing the longtime head coach Ryan Davis. Ader coaching at his alma mater, and so far he's looked to restore Chesapeake to the glory that it once was under the days of Coach Davis and Norm Pearson. Took them to the Elite Eight last year, looking to take them to that next step. It's Conaway, the mid-range jumper, knocks it down. Now Kazee on the other end.
Yeah, you mentioned Elite Eight. You watch this team play, it's certainly on the table again this year.
Kazee, corner three, there it is! 1,000 career points for Maddox Kazee.
Outstanding.
Have a stoppage in play, 5:03 here in the third quarter. We'll let the Chesapeake crowd do the talking. What a moment we get to witness here in Lucasville. Maddox Kazee, his 1,000th career point. He's only a junior. He's been the face of this Chesapeake team for the past 3 years. And what a moment that highlights a tremendous student athlete for this Chesapeake program.
No question about it. Just, it checks all the boxes. A terrific young man, plays extremely hard on the defensive end. And when your best player plays that hard on the defensive end, everybody falls in suit. So congratulations to that young man. What a great milestone. Certainly more to come in his great career.
Back to action here at Valley, 49-26 Chesapeake, as Dunham knocks down the baseline jumper. Kazee up the floor, got it deflected. Perkins is there, and Perkins with the cleanup duty puts it in.
Yeah, kind of all going right for the Panthers. Even when the Indians are there, the ball kind of bouncing the Panthers' way this evening.
The foul on the other end. As Valley will reset with the baseline out. This is a Chesapeake team that they get out in front of you. You're really playing from behind. They like to bury you and do it pedal to the metal the whole way through. Looking to do just that here. They already lead by 23. Here's Dunham. He launches a triple. Dunham knocks it down. Jalen Dunham, he's got 5 here in the second half, 11 on the night. Perkins on the other end off the glass.
Again, Perkins with a big third quarter here, 9 in the quarter, 12 on the night. It's just amazing, even on the made shot, how quick Pete comes back at you.
Dunham can't connect on the triple. Conaway, his second chance, that's no good. Barker chases down the long rebound, falling forward, delivers the pass to Perkins, who puts it in.
Great effort from John Cooper Barker there, just making the extra effort to get the teammate the easy deuce.
Copen, the jumper, too short. Bender tried to save it rather. Loose ball picked up by Copen in the backcourt. Lundy over to Conaway, back to Lundy. Lundy for 3, that's no good. Barker right there to grab it for Chesapeake.
Carson, sometimes all that happens in your identity is there's a certain way you like to play, and then there's a few teams on your schedule that like to play that way as well. And when they played a little bit better on that night, this type of thing can happen, and that's what you're seeing with Chesapeake and its ability just to get up and down the court and get a lot of possessions, lost shots up.
Kazee lost the handle. Dunham up the floor. Conaway to the basket, can't finish. Bender, the trail and the putback. Way to stay with it from Jackson Bender.
That's it. I mean, again, easy to quit on that, assuming you're going to have a conversion on the other end. He stayed with it. Boy, was he good last night in that third quarter and sparking his team to come back win.
Very athletic student athlete, only a junior, but a terrific athlete on both the soccer field and the basketball court. As Steven Ader going to burn a full timeout here, we'll take it with him. 55-33 Chesapeake here in Lucasville. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
2:39 remaining here in the third quarter at Valley. It's been all Chesapeake Panthers. They lead 55-33, highlighted by a milestone moment for junior Maddox Kazee, his 1,000th career point here in Lucasville.
Yeah, great moment there. I had a chance to share it with his family there, and the Chesapeake crowd coming to its feet there and honoring their outstanding talent.
Chesapeake crowd, a good-sized Chesapeake crowd made the trip over here to Lucasville to catch this non-league showdown as their Panthers look to continue to build off of a 22-point lead. Frecka hands it off to Kazee. There's Frecka in the short corner trying to back down Copen. Frecka jump stops. Frecka turns around off the front of the rim. Thacker the rebound. He can't finish on the putback.
Pretty good job by Copen. They're giving up a lot of size, just being able to contest the power move.
Elliott Frankie and Isaiah Clark checked in for Valley during the timeout. Here's Clark on the drive, got it knocked away and out of bounds. It'll stay with Valley. Dennis Scarberry will check into the action for Chesapeake. John Cooper Barker will head to the bench. There's Frankie one-on-one with Perkins, hands it off to Copen. Copen jump stops. Copen shot altered by Thacker, and he gets the rebound up the floor. Perkins with the finish. Caden Perkins in transition gets to the rim.
So much of Perkins getting a lot of easy ones as he really recognizes when his team has possession, and he really leaks out and gets out in front in a hurry.
Frecka able to pick up the missed jumper. Gets it up the floor to Kazee. Kazee trying to get past Lundy. Kazee off 2 feet. Kazee with the finish.
Yeah, Kazee had 9 in the first quarter, then took the second quarter off in terms of scoring, and then has come right back with 7 more here in the third.
Lundy, the mid-range jumper off the front iron. Up the floor, Kazee. Kazee again to the basket. Kazee in and out. Clark the rebound. Nice swap by Scarberry. Chesapeake gets it back.
Yeah, great effort.
Perkins feeds Frecka inside. Frecka showing off the strength. Carson Frecka playing some grown man basketball. Frankie on the other end. Frankie pulls up from the elbow. Jumper rolls in and out. Kazee hauls it in. Kazee racing up the floor. Kazee, nice dish inside. Frecka underneath to cap it off.
Yeah, great pace and great tempo, and again, just beating Valley down the floor, and then the unselfish play gets the easy 2.
Under 20 to go in the third quarter. One final possession here for Valley. Looking to salvage something, trailing by 30. There's Copen out to Lundy. Lundy fires from the corner, in and out. Conaway the offensive rebound and the putback midair. Perkins, half-court heave off the mark. And that'll bring us to the final quarter here in Lucasville. The Chesapeake Panthers dominating in this one, 63-35. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm James.
We want to thank you for continuing to make the Root Sports and Fitness Center your headquarters for youth sports in Southern Ohio.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Back here at Valley High School, where the Chesapeake Panthers are rolling here through 3 quarters, 63-35 ahead of the Valley Indians.
Yeah, 26 points there in that third quarter, led by a big quarter from Caden Perkins. Let's see here, he had 13 of those 26, and then obviously Kazee, they're going over 1,000. He now has 16 on the evening, and Thacker with 10, Frecka with 15. So Perkins with 13 there in the quarter has 16 on the night.
3 quarters down, 1 to go. Valley with possession to start the final quarter. Here's Copen working on Andy Chapman. Copen off the glass, can't finish. Scarberry the rebound, tips it over to Chapman. Here's Perkins off the screen. Perkins pulls up, can't hit the jumper. Chapman tried to get the offensive rebound, can't get a handle on it, and it'll go back to Valley.
Good effort from Chapman there, and again, nice job of Valley just continuing to compete. That's what you're doing here until coaches decide to maybe clear the benches. You're just going to continue to put the scoreboard aside and continue to compete hard.
Here's Dunham. Dunham pulls up from inside the arc, and nothing but net on the jumper. Dunham having a nice night.
13 now.
Matching his average per game. Here's Andrew Isaacs on the other end, the runner off the front of the rim. Copen pulls it down for Valley. There's Bender now. Bender tried to get past Perkins. Perkins got a hand on it. Perkins on the other end, and the finish. Caden Perkins, steal and basket. Coach Ader will now burn a timeout. We'll keep it here, 6:49 to play. As Caden Perkins gets a steal, shows off the speed.
It was great.
Chalks up too.
Sorry, Carlos. It was great help in the dribble gap. He recognized there in transition that Bender had a quickness advantage, and he starts to sneak in there, and he's able to strip it clean. And then, boy, does he go end to end with the basketball. He can really go.
Looking ahead for Chesapeake, they're back in action Tuesday night at home against South Point. From there, they'll be at Cold Grove on Friday, and then they go to a very interesting four-game stretch from there, in my opinion, because that Saturday the 24th, they're over at Shawnee State against Columbus Afrocentric, a really talented team year in, year out. And then their next three games from there, at home against Ironton, at Fairland, and then home against Gallia Academy.
Yeah, great stretch of opponents there. And again, this is a really talented basketball team. So as they get going closer and closer to tournament time, that's the type of competition they want to be playing. This is going to be a team that's already kind of tournament tested in the past. They're going to be a really tough out.
We'll have that Ironton game on the 30th circled on our radar. Ironton, the only blemish on Chesapeake's schedule this season.
It's really the only team that's been able to kind of get them in a slower tempo, I believe, when you really look at their scores.
There's Andy Chapman in the post. Chapman steps through, can't finish, as there's a rebound by Jackson Bender. Malachi Keller checked in for the Indians during the timeout. There's Dunham on the drive. Dunham, underhand layup, can't get it to go. Scarberry got it knocked away on the rebound. Here's Dunham again, reverse layup, knocks it in.
Great effort from Copen to strip that ball loose, keep it alive. Still playing hard.
Showing no quit till the final whistle. Sure, you've got to love that if you're Coach Tackett.
Well, because you're worried about more than just the fourth quarter at this point. You want to continue to build off something.
Nice turnaround jumper there from Perkins. It's Perkins getting his fill here in the second half.
Yeah, safe to say he's got it going tonight. He's got 20 now.
Caden Perkins, 24 in the last game. That win over Portsmouth. Copen outside to Keller. Well, Bender in the corner. Bender through traffic, got it knocked away, gets it back, puts up the jumper and banks it in. Jackson Bender sticks with it and knocks down the jumper. There's Perkins on the other end, the pull-up in and out. Long rebound will go out of bounds. It'll stay with Chesapeake. Kazee will head back onto the floor for the Panthers. And J.U. Howard will check in for Valley. He'll get his first varsity action tonight.
Yeah, seeing a couple guys that we've watched the last couple nights in the JV contest. Valley at the JV level, they really get up and down too. So plenty of athletes still to come here in the Valley program.
Perkins wide open three. That's no good. Bender right there to grab the rebound. He crosses the timeline. Under 5 minutes to go. Bender wanted to take the three. Good contest from Scarberry. Frankie top of the key out to Keller. Keller one-on-one with Perkins. A deflection there by Scarberry. Valley will reset the possession. Freka and Thacker set to come back in for Chesapeake.
Yeah, Scarberry's someone that jumps out at me too defensively. He's in the passing lane, he's active, and he's the type of guy when you play with this type of talent, having a guy that can come in and really give you some defensive options in terms of pressure and creating some turnovers, that's a valuable weapon into the tournament.
Frankie on the drive, nice dish to Copen. Copen got blocked by Thacker from behind. Up the floor, Kazee got it knocked away by Keller. It'll stay with the Panthers.
Good hustle from Keller. And on the other end, just another example. You know, you execute pretty well. You get a point blank at the rim, and it's just the size and athleticism of Chesapeake on the recover. That's just a little bit different than a lot of other opponents on your schedule.
It's nice for these JV guys getting some reps here for Valley as Frecka goes off the glass and gets it to fall. Nice finish from Frecka. What's nice for these reserves that are getting in for Valley, they're getting some action against some of the best players in the Southeast District. So learning experience going forward, not just into this year, but as they grow in their high school basketball careers.
No question. Get some nice experience. And then, you know, Carson, you mentioned something there as they go baseline and get another easy one on the follow-up.
Scarberry, the putback off the miss from Kazee.
You mentioned something earlier about how last year, you know, with the way the game went down there at Chesapeake, I got to believe that was kind of on the mind of these kids coming in tonight. This is a team that doesn't lose a whole lot of basketball games, certainly not on its home court. So wouldn't you agree that probably was somewhere on the pregame board, just a reminder of how a year ago went?
Coach Tackett burning a timeout with 3:50 left. We'll keep it here. Valley in 3:50, barring any type of miracle, on their way to falling to 8-3, just their second loss at home on the season. You know, certainly still a long way to go in the regular season, a lot to learn from this one for the Indians.
Oh, no question. And we talked about how good the SOC is from night in, night out. It's just going to be brutal, and but everything's going to get you ready for that second season. And, you know, Valley, if you look in that D6 level, they're going to be a tough out. This is a good basketball team. Tonight they just ended up running into a Chesapeake team that's locked and loaded for a really special run, I believe, in the tournament. But if you're Valley, you just kind of take a look at this, look yourself in the mirror, and you bounce back and you get ready to go. Obviously, Chesapeake's a really good team. No excuses for Valley. I think playing the back-to-back with the emotional league night last night and the dance and the pep band and the bigger crowd and all those different things, I think that kind of played a factor from the word go tonight. But look, this Chesapeake team, they're really, really good.
That Division VI tournament field is going to be interesting to watch. I honestly feel like I look at the teams in that Division VI, and I think it's anybody's game when it comes tournament time. J.U. Howard out to Malachi Keller. Keller off the screen, back to Howard. Howard launches from downtown off the mark. Scarberry there to grab the rebound. There's Andrew Isaacs trying to get past his defender, lost it, and Conaway there to pick it up. Conaway, coast to coast, lost it. Gets it back, puts it up, and it's off the glass. And Kazee throws it off of Conaway, who was out of bounds. High IQ play there from Maddox Kazee. As Coach Ader will now begin to empty out his bench. Logan Clay, Andy Chapman, and Colton Huffman will get their first varsity action of the night. As Thacker, Frecka, and Maddox Kazee, the newest member of Chesapeake's 1,000-point club, will head off the floor. Eli Clark will check in for Valley, as well as Colton Stewart.
Carson, you highlighted the tempo and the number of points they've been scoring. Here they are at 71 with 3 minutes still to play as they get to the bench.
So make it 7 of the last 8, scoring north of 60. 81 in their last game, 71 with 3 minutes to go tonight. Here's Huffman on the drive. Huffman gets it over to Scarberry. The baseline jumper rolls in. Nice dish from Huffman. Scarberry able to finish it off.
Scarberry with a couple fourth quarter field goals.
Frankie kicks it out. Keller fires a long three, in and out. The fight for the rebound won by Huffman of the Panthers. Up the floor, here's a three from Clay. Clay off the mark. And rebound taken by Howard. Howard got knocked down by Chapman from behind. Chapman will get tagged with the foul. (73-41) Chesapeake. Panthers from the get-go got off to a hot start, never looked back. The drive from Frankie. Frankie to the basket. kisses it off the glass for the finish.
Yeah, nice job, Elliott Frankie. We've seen him give some quality minutes to this Valley team throughout the year.
Isaacs backs it out. Jump stops at the elbow. Try to find Huffman. He'll put it up instead. Can't get the roll. Chapman, offensive rebound. Chapman got it stripped on the block. Taken away by Frankie. Frankie spins. Frankie off 2 feet. Off the mark. Stewart, the offensive rebound. Back out to Frankie. 4-3 off the back of the rim this time. Out of bounds, and it'll go to Chesapeake.
Carson, you look at these two respective conferences, and there's just great depth in both of them. I think that's another thing that's going to prepare both teams. We've had a chance to see a lot of the teams in action, and there's just not a whole lot of nights off in the OVC or the SOC.
Isaac step through, can't convert. And the foul on the rebound by Stewart. They'll tag Isaacs with it. Under 90 seconds to go. Both teams emptied out their bench. Here's a three-pointer from Clark. That's off the mark. Chapman the rebound. Isaacs up the floor. Huffman can't finish the open layup.
Yeah, just got caught a little bit under the rim. Just lost a little sense of where he was at.
There's a corner three for the Indians. J.U. Howard letting it fly from downtown. And a timeout called by Stephen Ader with 58 seconds to go. More reserves will come in for the Panthers. Garrett Grayley, Jonas Washington, both into the game for Chesapeake. Panthers trying to burn out the remainder of this time. Huffman can't finish the layup. Long rebound, won by Clay. Clay into Huffman underneath. Huffman throws it off the foot of Colton Stewart. And they'll say he stepped out of bounds beforehand.
Terrific pass from Washington on the possession there. They just couldn't get the bunny to go down.
Under 30 to play here in Lucasville. Valley working it around. Frankie inside. Gets it out to Howard. Howard, he'll go baseline. Howard throws it off a Chesapeake defender, and they'll say it was the last to touch it. 17.7 remaining.
This possession should just about do it for us.
Garrett Grayley picks it up at the volleyball line. Chesapeake will hold it on the near side. And that will be your ball game. A milestone night for the Chesapeake Panthers. Maddox Kazee gets his 1,000th career point on their way to a 73-46 win for the Chesapeake Panthers as they improve to 12-1 on the season.
Impressive in so many ways, as you said, the milestone night, but right from the word go tonight, Valley jumping out to the 9-2 advantage, never looked back, and controlled it pretty much start to finish. Congratulations to the Panthers on a really, really impressive road win.
Once again, your final score from Lucasville, 73-46 in favor of the Chesapeake Panthers. We'll take a quick break and give our final thoughts on this one. Take a look at what's ahead for both teams when we return. You're watching Ohio High School Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Back here in Lucasville, your final score from Valley High School. Chesapeake, a dominating win over the Valley Indians, 73-46. Your final. Chesapeake improves to 12-1 overall, their 8th straight after falling to Ironton earlier in the season. Valley dropping to 8-3. Carson Francis and Shane Combs back with you. Shane, your thoughts on an impressive road win for Chesapeake?
Well, I thought it was all about their pace. I thought it was their ability to go end to end in a hurry, be it off a turnover, be it off of a defensive rebound. I mean, really even off of a made shot. They waste very little time. They spend a lot of time in secondary break. They spend a lot of time out in the open court, and they really run the court hard, and then they share the ball. You look down stat sheet. They don't hit a ton of threes, but they're very capable. They don't get tonight. They didn't really get to the free throw line a bunch, but they're pretty efficient when they do. But this is just a lot of easy baskets into the open court, and the balance is what really jumps out at you. Big night for Caden Perkins there. He had 20. And I looked down, Carson Frecka with 17. Maddox Kazee, as we said, the milestone night for him was 16. Philip Thacker with 10. So you're getting 4 Panthers into double figures. And again, it's just the willingness to share the ball, because you watch the versatility of Kazee and Thacker, and you get the sense that they could go get their shot whenever they want it, but they're always willing to make the right basketball play, and I think that's what really sets this impressive Panthers attack in motion.
Yeah, and we talked about, again, in the pregame during halftime, just from top to bottom, everybody on Chesapeake had something to bring to the table. Perkins with a game high 20, Kazee, Thacker all did their thing. Frecka had a nice game offensively and defensively. Just shows how well this Chesapeake team has played from top to bottom, how well they've played together, how well they've used each other to get out on top, to get ahead early and not look back.
Yeah, no question about it. 13 in the third quarter for Perkins there when they put 26 on the board. I think he'd be the first to tell you that he had a lot of teammates doing a good job on the defensive glass and with some different turnovers, was able to get him out in the open court. He was even involved in some of that defensive effort as well with his great quickness in the dribble gap, being able to strip the ball and get the Chesapeake fast break started. But yeah, it's just, when you look at it across the board, they're capable three-point shooters. They have the great post presence and Frecka with a little bit of depth from Chapman there, so they can always play some inside out off of them. And then they have the great point guard play with Perkins, and then the versatility of Kazee and Thacker. And don't forget about John Cooper Barker. I just think he does so many little things that go unnoticed. Some do show up in the stat sheet, but a lot of times you got to turn the film on and really watch him to appreciate some of those little intangibles that he brings.
And for Valley, obviously not anywhere near the result you wanted tonight, but obviously a lot to build on, a lot of basketball left to be played, and they got a big one coming up. And it doesn't look big as far as records-wise, but when you look at the two teams that are going to play here on Tuesday night, they don't like each other, and it just means a little bit more in this one. The Indians will be back in action Tuesday when they host the Minford Falcons in an SOC3 rivalry showdown.
Yeah, no time to panic for Valley. This is one of those games where you just kind of take it on the chin and you accept it, you learn from it, and you move on. You're still an 8-3 basketball team, and you're a really, really good basketball team. As you said, a rivalry game coming up here. They got a couple league games coming up at home next week, and you want to bounce right back. And you're starting to come up on that time, Carson, where you'd really like to play some of your best basketball. So you take a game like this and you get whooped a little bit. You just kind of look at the film, see, okay, where do we got to get better so that we can be at our very, very best here in about a month or so when we get closer to the tournament.
And it's a nice little homestand, too, coming up for Valley. They were home last night and tonight. They're home 3 more times before they travel to Wheelersburg on the 30th. But again, until then, they'll host Minford, Portsmouth West, and Greenup County. Couple opportunities for them to get right. Also a revenge game there with Portsmouth West coming in next Friday.
Yeah, no question. And from what you and I watched last night, I think with some of the league games coming up, some of that atmosphere will return. You know, we watched last night with a little bit of a bigger crowd, the pep band, some different things there. Expect that to return there as you get back into league play next week here at home.
Looking ahead to our coverage here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. Tomorrow night, we'll have the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show from our downtown Chillicothe Sports Card Studio. John Bruce and Matt Hoops will have all the coverage from that one. We got a special guest coming in. Jackson head coach Max Morrow will be in the studio along with a couple of his Ironman players, so be sure to be on the lookout for that one. We'll have Overtime presented by Perfection One. Shane, you and John will have our weekly podcast, and then 3 streams coming up next week. Monday night, Piketon travels to McLean for an exciting non-league girls matchup. Monday night, you and John will have the call from Greenfield for that one. Tuesday night, our Kingston National Bank SVC Game of the Week in boys action. Huntington traveling to Piketon in what should be an exciting league game as well. And then next Saturday at Southeastern, the Panthers playing host to Southern in boys action.
Yeah, getting a chance to see a couple teams in person we haven't had a chance to see yet. We have watched some of those other teams. Outstanding girls matchup there with the McLean team there that's out in front of the FAC. Again, having another terrific year. Piketon as well there out of the SVC. And then, as you said, the boys matchup there on Tuesday night. When those two get together year in, year out, that's always a good one. And then can't wait to see Southern. We haven't had a lot of the TVC Hawking on our coverage yet. We've been following them a lot, but anxious to get them on the air as well.
One final time from Valley High School in Lucasville. The Chesapeake Panthers dominate in this one. 73-46, the final over the Valley Indians. Along with Kenneth Hay, our cameraman, and Shane Combs, I'm Carson Francis. We thank you for tuning in to tonight's presentation of Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. Enjoy the rest of your evening.